you just beat the #1 team in the country, and now you got to do it again, right? I mean, you got to at this point. I mean, we always like to ask, how can this propel your team? Well, now you find out. I mean, this is kind of when you got to make that game matter, right?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, to be honest, and this sounds stupid and cliche, but the Stanford game is well in the rearview mirror. Like, I've spent the last 48 hours, watching Arizona State, last year's film, this year's clips, trying to figure out what it is that Arizona State is going to do, or what we need to do to try to be successful against them. Certainly we celebrated for about 2 days, lots of social media and, posts and things like that. But yeah, the biggest thing is just to sort of figure out what is it that we did so well, that gave us that opportunity so that we can continue to do those things, and I think I said after Sunday's game that our preparation gave us the opportunity to be successful on Sunday. And I think that's the biggest message for our ball club, is that our preparation is what determines our success or lack thereof. So today needs to be a great practice. Tomorrow needs to be a great practice, not just physically, but mentally and being locked in.
So when you talk about the celebration, I mean, there's so many accolades for your team. I think National Team of the Week, you get Players of the Week, Freshman of the Week, all that stuff. How much do you have to kind of rein the players in and everybody in and say, look, we're still 6-6, and we've got a lot of work we got to do here?
Yeah, I'm hoping that I don't have to do very much of that. I'm hoping that our veterans and our upperclassmen will be able to do that for me. But yeah, I mean, like I said, I haven't even thought about Stanford since Monday afternoon, when I started working on the Arizona State Scout and that preparation. So I personally am well past it, but I will make sure that our team, is also completely dialed into Arizona State in that preparation.
Cam finally getting over the hump in that game, though. I know, you guys beat Arizona last year, but it was also without their best player, right?
Right.
You beat a full rostered Stanford team. How much can that really build some confidence for this team as you guys head down the stretch?
Yeah, I mean, that is a difference. Haley Jones didn't play Friday night, so we anticipated that she would play against us. And yeah, I mean, we know that that they were at full strength and we were at full strength. So it was two good teams that, were healthy and felt good and were ready to go. So that should be a confidence boost, knowing that there's so much talent in this league on every single roster you could pick, McDonald's All-Americans and 5-star recruits and all these things. And to know that, every team we play is going to have those same McDonald's All-Americans and 5-star recruits. And it doesn't really matter who it is, as long as we bring our best effort and focus and attention to detail, we have a chance to be successful.
And last thing for me, as you've watched Arizona State, I know, they're unranked, which is kind of unusual for them. But are they the same kind of gritty, in-your-face defense type of team?
Yes, absolutely. For Charlie, the great thing about, when I think about Charlie and their culture at Arizona State, I think the fact that it's the same team every single year is what's so remarkable about Arizona State. I mean, that's Charlie's culture. Like, she has built a team that, whether it's 8 freshmen and a couple seniors or 8 seniors and a couple freshmen, they're going to be really tough, very gritty, very physical. They will never back down. Like, they're going to compete for 40 minutes with no slip ups,
Yeah.
And so I love that about their program. It's something that we really want, to be known for in our program, as far as just being sort of that relentless pursuit of a competitive spirit, So yeah, they're the same team. New faces, those guards, Riley Richardson and who was the kid from Wyoming, Robbie Ryan. Those players were there forever. Like, it felt like they were there for 7 or 8 years,
Yeah.
And so they're gone. They do look different, but it's the same tough ball club.
Very few teams in the Pac-12 have an identity like ASU. Like, I mean, very few teams have that much of an identity. So is that Alex's scout, by the way?
It is, yeah. It is. Yeah. And there's things that, that she'll see on film and be like, oh, this is really important to them. Like, this is something that, she was taught or, coached when she was a player years ago.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, thanks. I appreciate it, Corey.
Of course.
Sorry to hog it.
Oh, no. That's great. I wanted to ask about Frida, and really just to, we talked last week, and we kept saying, high basketball IQ. She's your best shooter in practice always, and one of the best shooters you've ever coached. That was on display, right, against Cal and against Stanford. That's what you see in practice every day.
Oh yeah, I mean, and then yesterday, on her day off, she's in the gym getting up shots. I mean, she's just she pursues like excellence on a daily basis. Like she really tries to be the best that she can be every single day. Whether it's getting up extra reps or coming into the office to watch extra film or just different things like that. So yeah, she's going to be really special. It was fun to see the different awards come through for her. I just feel like this is just the beginning for her. She has a lot of really great basketball, both here and as a professional, in years to come.
I know that, and I know we've talked a lot about Maya too, and you talked a lot, and we heard her in the post game. I thought it was interesting. I went back and listened to your post game press conference when people asked you about recruiting and what this means for recruiting, but also pointing out that, there's 3 kids from Colorado that were playing for Stanford that, can the tide turn? What does a win like this do for you guys? I mean, obviously more national people are paying attention now and saying, oh, Maya Hollingshed, wow, she's a good player. Well, we've kind of known that for the last couple of years, and we knew that Frida was, she was going to be a good player. What does it do for you when you guys, and I know you're recruiting now too. I mean, while you're on the road, you're trying to get all this stuff done, but what does it mean just for the program essentially, and for your staff, for finally people to kind of look at you guys and go, oh, look at what JR and the rest of the staff is doing?
Yeah, well, I think for one, a win like that just sort of gives you some national recognition, even if it's just a kid in Virginia watching SportsCenter, or a kid that sees a tweet by ESPN, women's basketball or something like that. That's a little bit of recognition, which is really important and wonderful. The other thing I think it says to players, when you can look at, just say Maya's example, I think she averaged six a game, and then 10 a game, and then 13 a game, and now 15 a game, or whatever the numbers are. For a player that might be someone like Maya, like long and athletic, and, her skill isn't quite refined, as a high school senior or junior. I think what it says to those players is this is a place where you can come and be developed, and really reach your potential. Like a Jalen Sherrod was not recruited by any Power Fives except Colorado. And we, Shan and myself and the coaches, built a really strong relationship with her as we were recruiting her. But the bottom line is she was overlooked by a ton of people. And, someone like that who might say, I think I can play at that level, and I want to go somewhere where I'll really be coached and challenged and developed. Everybody wants to be great. And if you're someone that's willing to work, this is a place that you can go to, really become the best you can be.
On the in-state recruiting too, it just pays huge dividends, doesn't it? I mean, I know we have a gal coming from Valor. You already have somebody from Air Academy. We've seen people trickle through Colorado, but I would imagine that a few more people are paying attention here in Colorado too.
Yeah, well, I got on the phone with our 22s in Colorado pretty quickly after the game. As far as just texting them and things like that. So yeah, I mean, I just really think it's a special thing to go to the premier institution, the flagship institution in your state, and to be able to put that name across your chest that represents your home and, and your family and your state. So of course we would love for the best players in the state of Colorado to come to Colorado. We're certainly working our tails off to try to get them here. And that's important for us. And if I was a young lady playing in the state, I would certainly look at this as a really great option.
Last thing for me, just the challenges of, again, now you've got to go to Tempe and you have to go down to Tucson, places that were always difficult to play, but a little different setup now. You kind of ran into it at USC where you kind of had the gyms to yourself and you almost got a win there. And I know you probably count that as we could have done better and probably could have got a W. you come away 1-1 or, even 2-0 out of this weekend, it really sets you guys up pretty well as you come back home the following week. I mean, I know you're looking one game at a time, but again, are you guys getting used to playing on the road in these kind of empty gyms?
Yeah, it's, when the gyms are empty, it's just another gym, so the only real differences are the hotel and the food and, being on a bus and things like that become the biggest differences rather than, playing somewhere where there's 5,000 elementary school kids screaming or, that sort of thing. Arizona State actually is allowing fans. So I think it's just family. And we told our players, I don't know if any of them have their parents or anybody coming, but this will be the one place in conference that we actually will have some people in the stands.
That's exciting. I mean, that'll be a different kind of feeling for you. That's got to be fun though. At least the opportunity is there. Does it feel like you're crawling out from underneath all the challenges?
Yeah, I mean, no, I don't know, in a 10,000 seat arena, there might be 100 people. So it's still going to be quiet and empty, but those that cheer will be heard, rather than, I know when I'm watching Arizona film, they turn their fake crowd noise up so loud, kind of like our men's games, like it's really loud. So I think that will also be kind of weird for us just because it's like, I don't know, it's weird. So it's just every day is just roll with the punches, just whatever's put in your path, just handle it. And this trip will be no different.
Yeah. I know Mark Johnson asked you on one of the podcasts about, wouldn't it have been fun to have the fans there to storm the court on Sunday, type deal. Well, maybe you'll get that opportunity later this season. You never know.
Who knows? We'll keep our fingers crossed.
Yeah.
Just want to keep playing.
Yeah. That's good for me. I don't know if Brian has another question potentially out of this.
I do have one more real quick. First off, does Rick George coming down to congratulate you count as court storming?
Yes.
Yeah, okay,
I think so. And the way our girls ran off the bench, that counts too.
Okay. All right. That's not my question. I am curious though. And I don't know if you've had this conversation with Maya. Do you know if she wants to come back next year?
We have not had that conversation.
Okay.
No, we're waiting till the season's over to have that, but certainly we want her to, and I know we spoke this summer, she's very interested in pursuing a master's degree, which she could get here at Colorado in a year. So it's definitely something that we will be talking about as soon as season's over.
Well, would you, obviously senior day is different this year, but would you talk to her about it before then so that you don't do a celebration in case?
No, I think, well, I mean, I can talk to her about it anytime. Doesn't matter, but I think we'll do senior day no matter what.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. That's all. I was just curious.
I actually haven't even thought about that senior day. So
right. There's plenty of other things to worry about.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. You're halfway through the season already though,
Crazy.
Isn't that nuts? Yeah.
We've made it this far. We just got to keep going.
Yeah.
All right. Good luck.
Well,
Thanks, you guys.
I'll